Hello all, this is the last module on multi-rate digital signal processing. So here we talk about the applications of multi-rate signal processing on subband coding of speech signal and QMF filter bank. In the subband coding of speech signal, so most of the speech energy is having a lower frequency. It's around below 2000 hertz. We have the most of the energy of many normal speakers, but singers will have some higher frequencies also, say up to 6 kilohertz or so. So now the thing here is encode the lower frequency band with more bits than the higher frequency band. The subband coding is a method where the speech signal is subdivided into several frequency bands and each band is encoded separately. So here is the block diagram of the subband coding of a speech signal. So here we input the speech signal and then it is differentiated into two energy bands initially, high pass and a low pass, and then this is decimated. After each filter we have decimation and then we encode it to a certain number of bits. So in the first half again it is subdivided into two, okay, and then the lower frequency band of the second stage is further divided into the low pass filter and high pass filter, and which is decimated and encoded later. So here what we had is, let us say the speech signal is sampled at the rate fs. Then initially it is split the signal spectrum into two equal bit segments, say 0 to fs by 4 and fs by 4 to fs by 2. The second frequency division splits the low pass signal again from the first stage into two equal bands as 0 to fs by 8 and fs by 8 to fs by 4. For the third stage also split the low pass signal from the second stage into two equal bandwidth signal. So this procedure continues. So thus the signal is subdivided into four frequency bands covering 3 octaves. 3 octave in the sense this will cover most of the signal spectrum, including the singer's frequency range. The word meaning of the octave is doubling. So if you have 100 hertz, the next octave is 200 hertz, and the third octave is a double of 200, that is 400 hertz. So this is the image. Initially say we have differentiated as pi by 2, and from pi by 2 to pi by 4, and then pi by 4 to pi by 8, and overall we have 4 spectrum range. So we have seen the filter characteristics in the we have a filter in the subband coding. So the characteristics of such filter should be good so that we achieve a good performance. And there are two things here. One is brick wall filters, which have a sharp slope, say from 1 to 0 and 0 to 1. That kind of filters are called as brick wall filters. Another one is QMF filter that we are going to see shortly. The quadrature mirror filters or QMF. So this is the block diagram of the brick wall filters. So if the cutoff frequency is pi by 2 and from another one is pi by 2 to pi, so there is a sharp slope, but which is physically not reliable, it's not realizable. And another one is the QMF filter. So here you can see some overlapping, or there is some slope from low pass to high pass and high pass to low pass, where pi by 2 act as the center frequency here. So here is the synthesis. So whatever you have spectrum that you have analyzed in the subband coding, that can be reconstructed into time domain signal. So earlier you had encoder there, so now we have a decoder. There you have a decimator, here it's the interpolator by the same factor, and then there is a filter, that is sound. So it's in the first stage, later in the second stage, or in the third stage. All 4 stages got added up here to get the output in the time domain. So that's about the subband coding of speech signal. So now we'll see the last application of multi-rate signal processing is QMF, which employs 2 decimators in analysis section and 2 interpolators in the synthesis section as before. Let us call a response of a low pass and a high pass filter in the analysis section as H0 of n and H1 of n, and that of synthesis section are G0 of n and G1 of n. So here you have a X of n, and then there is a low pass filter and a high pass filter. Here you have a 2 decimator in low pass and high pass filter together. Similarly, there is an interpolator and the response function G0 of z and G1 of z in the synthesis section. So now we have some series of equations. So better you write down those things, and there is a mathematical simplification later. Fourier transform of the signals at the output of 2 decimators are. So now we are concentrating on the analysis section. So here there are 2 things. Now there are 2 decimators. Let's call this as XA0 of the omega and XA1 of omega. So now the Fourier transform of the signals at those outputs of the 2 decimators are given by this formula: half it is decimated by 2. So wherever you have omega, you have to divide by 2, x of omega by 2 and h0 of omega by 2. So the filter that you are using a filter characteristics we have seen. You have omega and omega minus 2 pi, the low pass and high pass filter components of that. Similarly, x of a1 of omega. Let's call this as equation 1. Now suppose if x s0 of omega and x s1 of omega represent the 2 inputs to the synthesis section, so then the output x cap of omega is the input and the filter function xx0 into 2 omega, xx0 of 2 omega into g0 of omega plus xs1 of 2 omega into g1 of omega, because it is interpolated by a factor 2. So then that's how there is a the number the frequency is multiplied by 2 in both this equation, in this terms, both the terms. You may call this equation 2, and then suppose if the analysis output is given as a input was synthesis section, that means xa0 is equal to xs0, xa1 is equal to xs1. Then the output here, then you substitute these terms in this equation, and you'll get ended up with these terms. Okay, the half h0 of omega into g0 of omega plus h1 of omega into g1 of omega into x of omega. Similarly, the second term. Okay, so you have to substitute the equations, both the equations, equation 1 and 2, and you have to simplify that, and then you will get this equation. You may call this equation 3. And now we have something called as The first term here is a desired signal output from the QMF bank. Okay. The second term is called the aliasing, the term due to the effect due to the aliasing, which needs to be eliminated, or you need to make this as 0. Okay. So how we can make it 0? So this second term has to be 0, and then this condition can be simply satisfied by selecting the filter response function G0 of omega and G1 of omega as G0 of omega is equal to H1 of omega minus pi, and G1 of omega is equal to minus H0 into omega minus pi, so that this term gets cancelled, or the second term here vanishes. So now we'll see the low pass filter response H0 of omega and H1 of omega. They are both the low pass filter and mirror image high pass filter respectively. So we can represent, suppose if you represent H0 of omega as H of omega, and that H1 of omega is H of omega minus pi, since it is a the mirror image high pass filter. So H of omega is the frequency response of a low pass filter. Okay. So in the time domain, their relationships will be, suppose if H0 of n is H of n, and H1 of n is minus 1 raised to n into H of n. So now the consequence of this H0 of omega and H1 of omega, since they are mirror image symmetry, so we will get this QMF filter characteristics that we have seen earlier also. Okay, and the center frequency is omega is equal to pi by 2. So now to be consistent with the constraint was the second term in the equation 3 has to be 0. So the constraint is this: G0 of omega is H1 of omega minus pi, and G1 of omega is equal to minus H0 of omega minus pi. So the response function of the analysis section, let's say G0 of omega is equal to 2 into H of omega, and the high pass filter G1 of omega is minus 2 into H of omega minus pi. Again the factor which is multiplied by 2 because of the interpolation by a factor 2. So in the time domain, G0 of n is 2 into H of n, and that of G1 of n is minus 2 into minus 1 raised to H of n. Okay, so the scale factor 2 in this G0 of n and G1 of n correspond to the interpolator. So with the proper choice of the filter like this, so we can eliminate the aliasing, and the QMF will behave as a linear time invariant system. Now, so we have obtained H0 of omega, H1 of omega, G0 of omega and G1 of omega in terms of H of omega and G of omega. So we'll substitute that in that the equation 3. So here is the equation 3 for the quick reference. So now we have, after substituting them and simplifying, so we have H square of omega minus H square omega minus pi into x of omega. Okay. So the ideal characteristics, the two channel QMF bank should have a unity gain, which means this factor should be 1 for all omega, or the frequency in radians. So H of omega is the frequency response of a low pass filter, and we need to have a linear phase also for all the omega. Okay, so now let us consider the linear phase filter characteristics for H of omega. So earlier in the general notation we have said that it is h of omega. So but now we are going to define the h of omega as a linear characteristics filter. So from the linear filter characteristics realization in the second chapter we have seen so this is magnitude into the phase e raised to minus j omega n minus 1 by 2. So this factor n minus 1 by 2 we represented as alpha there. So then n is the length of the filter, and then suppose if this is the response of h of omega, so then what is your h square of omega here? So it is the response say hr square of omega e raised to minus j omega into n minus 1. This is multiplied by 2, so 2 and 2 gets cancelled. Okay, so then it is magnitude of h of omega square e raised to minus j omega n minus 1. Okay, now we will do the same thing for h square of omega minus pi. So wherever you have omega, you need to replace it by omega minus pi. So this is your h square of omega minus pi. So again you substitute omega is equal to omega minus pi. So then we remain with the term. Here you can see e raised to minus j omega minus pi into n minus 1. Then we'll get e raised to plus j pi. Okay, so which is minus 1. So then there is a factor of n also, minus 1 raised to n minus 1, because this pi is what we have is e raised to plus j pi into n minus 1. So that n minus 1 comes here, and that e raised to j pi reduces to minus 1, and then we have magnitude h of omega minus pi whole square into e raised to minus j omega n minus 1. So the overall transfer function, that is output by input of the QMF which employs the linear phase FIR filter, is this. Okay, so you have a x cap of omega divided by x of omega. So then we get the equation h of omega square minus 1 raised to n minus 1 magnitude of h of omega minus pi whole square into e raised to minus j omega n minus 1. You need to do a simple mathematical substitution and then the simplification. So you will end up with this term. So the overall filter has a delay of n minus 1 samples, and magnitude characteristics, you know that this is the magnitude characteristics and this is the phase characteristics. So let's call a of omega is the magnitude characteristics, that is the this term. Okay, so when so you have two possibilities, when n is even and when n is odd. Okay, so when n is odd, a of pi by 2, you substitute omega as pi by 2, so which becomes 0, because this h of pi by 2 is equal to h of 3 pi by 2. So this term is equal to this term in such cases, and that is 0. So that is an unwanted property. Okay, so you need to make it n is equal to even, or length of the filter, which should be a even number. Okay, so what happens when n is even? So when n is even, so there's a plus h of omega square plus h of omega minus pi the square. So now we avoid the problem of 0 at omega is equal to pi by 2. So at omega equal to pi by 2, we don't get the 0. So for n even, the ideal 2-channel QMF should satisfy the condition, which is this. So again, the sum of these two terms should be equal to 1 for all the omega. So this is the basic of quadrature mirror filter. So this is the last module in the multi-rate digital signal processing. As you have already seen, it's a very big chapter. So you will likely to get 2 questions for 10 marks in the final examination. For any queries, you may contact me on phone or through email. And I wish you all the best for the exams in the future. Thank you.